2017 was an epic year for Australian designed board games.
Here's our picks on what you should be adding to your collection.
Adjust your messenger bag and get ready to fight, because the first game up is Troll Bridge.
Designed by Rocky Heckman with art by Daniel Salcedo, Troll Bridge is a family-friendly game and has nothing to do with nasty people on the internet. Players compete to deliver their messages across a rickety troll-infested bridge, requiring them to simply outsmart, outplay, or be tougher than the trolls trying to stop them.
Along the way, you can collect treasure. Ugg trolls cause holes in the bridge, which you have to navigate your way around, and trollosophers give you tricky pieces of trivia, which you have to answer before you can pass.
The game ends when one player makes it to the end of the bridge. Scores are then calculated based on what happened during the game, and the winner is the person with the highest score.
This game has great replay value because the bridge layout will be different every single time you play. Troll Bridge takes around 45 minutes to complete for a 2 to 5 player game.
Get ready, because it's time for Kickin Your Ass.
Designed by Rocky Heckman and art by Daniel Salcedo again, Kickin Your Ass is a fast-paced party game where players try to collect each piece of ass they can get their hands on, the donkey version. Once a player has enough ass to complete their own ass, they win. Along the way, other players try to kick your ass. This, of course, results in losing your ass. I've said ass enough.
For reals. This game is for 3 to 6 players and takes around 20 minutes to play. There's also a drunk edition that adults can play to make the ass kicking more challenging.
And if kicking your ass is too much for you, the same teams come out with Kicking Your Caterpillar.
Instead of building an ass, you're actually trying to build a caterpillar while trying to stop others from building their own. Look up, because the next game is Skyward.
Designed by Brendan Everts, Skyward is a strategy card drafting game for 2 to 4 players. The world has formed an alliance to create a better tomorrow, and starting with building the first ever airborne city. Tasked with building the new city, players launch a combination of buildings to score victory points.
As the game progresses, players must strategically play resources while vying for control, with the aim to become the founder of Skyward. The end game is triggered when the central deck is emptied or when any player launches their 6th building. Gameplay takes 30 to 45 minutes and the player with the most victory points wins.
Entropy Worlds Collide by the same people, 2015 game by Alan Chang and Alistair Kearney, with artwork by Mikhail Yakovlev.
Very good.
I tried. This game is designed for 2 to 4 players and takes 15 to 40 minutes of playtime to complete.
Parallel worlds have collided with 6 characters jettisoned from their homes into a place called the Nexus. Each character comes from a different planet and has unique abilities. Players choose action cards strategically, taking risks and deceiving their opponents in order to obtain shards of their homeworld.
The first player to collect all their shards saves their planet and wins. And the next game is the Tin Star.
Created by Steve D, the Tin Star is a unique single-player storytelling game using a simple deck of playing cards to tell a dark, bloody story of morality and confrontation in the Old West.
Will the sheriff win, or will the outlaw shoot him down in cold blood? It's down to the draw of the cards and your imagination.
Get off the plank, you scurvy dogs, because it's time for Blackened Hearts!
Designed by Matthew Carabache, Blackened Hearts is a live-action role-playing game of intrigue for 8 to 15 players, plus a game master. Players take on the role of a pirate crew and engage in cutthroat political intrigue and investigate a supernatural threat.
The game takes 2.5 hours to play and only requires a relatively small space, making it a great game to introduce players to the concept of live-action roleplay. Will the crew of the Black Kraken keep their treasure and make it to Tortuga, or will something knock the wind out of your sails?
Don't settle for normal rhymes, get your hands on the remarkable rhymes of the Traveller's Times.
Designed by Caitlin Brown and Simon Hill, this quirky game is for 3 to 6 players and takes 20 to 45 minutes to play. Based on fantasy adventure stories, players fill in the adjective and noun blanks to complete a scene, giving it their own funny, charming and imaginative twist.
Players each have a hand of noun and adjective cards. Each players take turns at the start being the storyteller, and the rest of the players use their cards to fill in the gaps of the story. The storyteller then chooses the version of the story they like best.
And the player with the most liked stories wins. Our 9th game comes from designers Kimberly Larking and Jonathan Durnford.
Banishment is a semi-cooperative card game for 2 to 5 players, and it takes about 15 or 20 minutes to play. Players are exorcists that must work together to banish a powerful demon before it breaks into the world and consumes their souls.
Gameplay is asymmetrical, which means each player takes turns at being the demon, giving them a chance to disrupt the exorcists before they can resolve their rituals. This means that the demon or the exorcists can win. The demon succeeds when their demon dice reaches 10. The exorcists win when they resolve their ritual cards, which is not an easy feat considering resources must be managed carefully while trying to defend against the demon's attacks.
If you have a larger group of players to cater for, 2 copies of the game will give you the ability to play the Cult War game variant with 6 players. This version of play puts the 2 teams of cultists head to head as they battle to be the first one to summon the Dark One into reality. Finally, we have Reign, a medieval card game of diplomacy and betrayal.
Designed by Kyril Hamden, Reign is for 2 to 7 players and takes 30 to 45 minutes to complete. The king is dead and has no heirs. Players are trying to get the kingdom and the all-important Onyx crown.
In Reign, deals are breakable, so you must work with other players to try and get ahead, but only one player can end up winning. The key to the victory is holding on to the Onyx crown as a symbol of rulership. Gain the Onyx crown or help someone else get it, and you become fully legit. When a player gains 9 legitimacy points and holds the Onyx crown, they will be named the rightful ruler.
Did you play one of these games last year? Or did you have an Aussie game that we missed? Leave a comment in the comments below.
And subscribe for more videos and board game content.